Merry Christmas, Uncle! God save you!
Bah, humbug!
Christmas a humbug, Uncle? You don't mean that, I'm sure.
I do. Merry Christmas. What right have you to be merry? What reason have you to be merry? You're poor enough.
Come then. What right have you to be dismal? What reason have you to be morose? You're rich enough.
Bah, humbug.
Don't be cross, Uncle.
What else can I be when I live in such a world of fools as this? Merry Christmas. Out upon Merry Christmas. What's Christmas time to you but a time for paying bills without money? A time for finding yourself a year older and not an hour richer? A time for balancing your books and finding every item a loss, or if you're fortunate, an empty give and take, but never a substantial profit. If I could work my will, every idiot who goes about with Merry Christmas on his lips should be boiled in his own pudding and buried with a stake of holly through his heart.
Uncle!
Nephew! Keep Christmas in your own way and let me keep it in mine.
Keep it, but you don't keep it.
Let me leave it alone then. Much good may it do you. Much good it has ever done you.
You can't weigh profit against a sense of well-being, especially at this season. I've found Christmas to be a good time, a kind, forgiving, charitable, pleasant time, no doubt due to the holy veneration of the day itself. It's the only time I know of in the long calendar of the year when people set aside their foolish pretense and treat each other simply as fellow passengers on a common journey to the grave. And therefore, Uncle, though it has never put a scrap of gold or silver in my pocket, I believe that it has done as me good and will do me good, and I say, God bless it.
Let me hear another sound from you, Cratchit, and you'll keep your Christmas by losing your situation. You're quite a powerful speaker, nephew. I wonder you don't go into Parliament.
Don't be angry, Uncle. Come, dine with us tomorrow.
I reckon the water of the North Sea will boil before I dine with you and yours on such a frivolous and unprofitable occasion.
But why?
But why? Why did you get married?
Because I fell in love.
Because I fell in love. That, sir, is even more ridiculous than your Merry Christmas. Good afternoon.
Nay, Uncle. But you never came to see me before that happened. Why give it as a reason for not coming now?
Good afternoon.
I want nothing from you. I ask nothing of you. Why can't we be friends?
Good afternoon.
We have never had a quarrel to which I have been a party, except that I come here in homage to Christmas, and you are so resolute against the warm greetings I bear. But you cannot dampen my Christmas humor. I shall keep it to the last. And so, a Merry Christmas, Uncle.
Good afternoon.
And a Happy New Year.
Good afternoon! There's another fellow, my clerk, with 15 shillings a week and a wife and a family, talking about Merry Christmas. I'll retire to Bedlam.
Scrooge and Marley's, I believe. Have I the pleasure of addressing Mr. Scrooge or Mr. Marley?
Mr. Marley has been dead these 7 years. He died 7 years ago this very night.
We have no doubt of his liberality is well represented by his surviving partner. At this festive season of the year, Mr. Scrooge, it is more than usually desirable that we should make some slight provision for the poor and destitute who suffer greatly at this present time. Many thousands are in want of common necessities. Hundreds of thousands are in want of common comforts, sir.
Are there no prisons?
Plenty of prisons.
And the union workhouses, are they still in operation?
They are, though I wish I could say they were not.
The treadmill and the poor law are in full vigor then?
Both very busy, sir.
No, I was afraid from what you had said at first that something had occurred to stop them in their useful course. I'm very glad to hear it.
Under the impression that there scarcely furnished Christian cheer of mind or body to the multitude, a few of us are endeavoring to raise a fund to buy the poor some meat and drink and means of warmth. We choose this time because it is a time of all others when want is keenly felt and abundance rejoices. What shall I put you down for?
Nothing.
You wish to be anonymous?
I wish to be left alone. Since you ask me what I wish, gentlemen, that is my answer. I don't make merry myself at Christmas, and I can't afford to make idle people merry. I help support the establishments I mentioned. They cost enough. And those who are badly off must go there.
Many can't go there, and many would rather die.
If they would rather die, they had better do it and decrease the surplus population.
Well, good day, Mr. Scrooge.
You'll want all day tomorrow, I suppose, Cratchit.
If quite convenient, sir.
It's not convenient and it's not fair. If I was to stop half a crown for it, you'd think yourself ill-used, I'll be bound. And yet you don't think me ill-used when I pay a day's wages for no work.
Yes, sir, of course, but seeing it's only once a year, and the family and all, looking forward to this special time.
A poor excuse for picking a man's pocket every 25th of December. But I suppose you must have the whole day. Be all the earlier the next morning.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Yes, of course. I'll make a point of being early.
See that you do.
God rest ye merry gentlemen, let nothing you dismay. Remember Christ our Saviour was born on Christmas Day to save us all from Satan's power when we were gone astray. Oh, tidings of comfort.
Hum. £6 for this miserable slop. Humbug. Christmas. Bar humbug. Another day off and not a crown richer. Humbug. Hmm? What was that? It's odd. Must be the wind. Hmm? What is that sound? It's coming from the stairs. How now? What do you want with me?
Much.
Who are you?
Ask me who I was.
Who were you then? You seem to be familiar to me.
In life, I was your partner, Jacob Marley.
Can you sit down?
I can.
Do it then.
You don't believe in me?
I don't.
What evidence would you have of my reality beyond that of your own senses?
I don't know.
Why do you doubt your senses?
Because a little thing can affect them. A slight disorder of the stomach can make me imagine things. You may be an undigested bit of beef, a blot of mustard, a crumb of cheese, a fragment of an underdone potato. It's more of gravy than of grave about you, whatever you are. You see this toothpick?
I do.
You are not looking at it.
But I see it notwithstanding.
Well, I have but to swallow this and be, for the rest of my days, persecuted by a legion of goblins. All of my own creation. Humbug, I tell you, humbug! Mercy, dreadful apparition! Why do you trouble me?
Man of the worldly mind, do you believe in me or not?
I do. I must. But why do the spirits walk the earth, and why do they come to me?
It is required of every man that the spirit within him should walk abroad among his fellow men and travel far and wide. And if that spirit goes not forth in life, it is condemned to do so after death. It is doomed to wander the world. Oh, woe is me! And witness what it cannot share but might have shared on earth, and turn to happiness.
You are wrapped in chains. Tell me why.
I wear the chain I forged in life. I made it link by link and yard by yard. I girded it of my own free will, and of my own free will I wore it. Is it strange to you? Or would you know the weight and length of the strong coil you bear yourself? It was as heavy and as long as this 7 Christmases ago. You have labored on it since. It is a ponderous chain.
Jacob! Old Jacob Marley, tell me more. Speak comfort to me, Jacob.
I have none to give. It comes from other regions, Ebenezer Scrooge, and it is conveyed by other ministers to other kinds of men. Nor can I tell you what I would. Very little is permitted of me. I cannot rest. I cannot stay. I cannot linger anywhere. My spirit never walked beyond our counting house. Mark me. In life, my spirit never rode beyond the narrow limits of our money-changing hole, and weary journeys lie before me.
You must have been very slow about it, Jacob.
Slow?
7 years dead and traveling all the time?
The whole time. No rest, no peace, incessant torture of remorse.
You traveled fast?
On the wings of the wind.
You must have covered a great deal of ground in 7 years.
Oh, I am a captive, bound and double-ironed. I must travel on, yet never achieving satisfaction for it. I was unaware, nay, I did not want to know that the simplest labor of love, repeated time and time again in life, would have such vast rewards in eternity. And I turned my back against opportunities to make amends for my folly. Such was I, oh, such was I.
But you were always a good man of business, Jacob.
Business? Mankind was my business. The common welfare was my business. Charity, mercy, forbearance, and benevolence were all my business. The dealings of my trade were but a drop of water in the comprehensive ocean of my business. And this time of year I suffer most. Why did I walk through the crowds of fellow beings with my eyes turned down, and never raise them to the blessed star which led the wise men to their poor abode? Were there no poor homes to which this light would have conducted me? Hear me, my time is nearly gone.
I will, but don't be hard upon me, Jacob, please.
It has been a penance that I sit beside you, unseen, many a day. I was sent to warn you that you have yet a chance to escape my fate as you see it on this night.
You are always a good friend to me.
You will be haunted by 3 spirits.
Is that the chance and hope you mentioned, Jacob?
It is.
I think I'd rather not.
Without their visits, you cannot hope to shun the path I tread. Expect the first tomorrow when the bell tolls 1.
Couldn't I take 'em all at once and have it over, Jacob?
Expect the second on the next night at the same hour. The third upon the next night when the last stroke of 12 has ceased to vibrate. Look and see me no more. And for your own sake, remember what has passed between us.
Humbug. Ghost. Probably just indigested from that horrible soup. Marley. Ghost. Humbug. Cratchit. Christmas. Nephew. Bah. Why, it isn't possible that I could have slept through a whole day and far into another night. Quarter past. Half past. quarter to it. The hour itself, and nothing else. Are you the spirit, ma'am, whose coming was foretold to me?
I am.
Who and what are you?
I am the ghost of Christmas past.
Long past?
No, your past.
And what business of mine has been assigned to you?
Your welfare.
I find it kind of you, if not disquieting, to be concerned for me. But I think that a night of unbroken rest would do me better.
Your salvation, then. Take heed. Rise and walk with me.
I am mortal, and it is my understanding that you spirits fly on the wings of the wind. I fear I will fall.
Bear but a touch of my hand there, and you shall be upheld in more than ghostly travel.
Good heavens! I was bred in this place. I was a boy here.
Your lip is trembling. And what is that upon your cheek?
It is but a pimple. Lead on to wherever it is that you are bound to take me.
You recollect the way?
Remember it? I could walk it blindfold.
Strange to have forgotten it for so many years. These are but shadows of the things that have been. They cannot see or hear us. Observe, the school is not quite deserted. A solitary child, neglected by his friends, is left there, still.
That poor boy was me. So many years ago. Poor boy. I wish. So, but it's too late now.
What is the matter?
Nothing. There was a boy singing a Christmas carol at my door last night. I should like to have given him something. That's all.
There are other Christmases for us to visit.
Ebenezer, dear, dear brother, I have come to bring you home. To bring you home. Home!
Home, little fan.
Yes, home for good and all. Home forever and ever. Father is so much kinder than he used to be that home's like heaven. He spoke so gently to me one night when I was going to bed that I was not afraid to ask him once more if you might come home. And he said, yes, you should. And he sent me in a coach to bring you. And you're to be a man and never to come back here. But first we're to be together all the Christmas long and have the merriest time in all the world.
You are quite a woman, Fan.
Always a delicate creature whom a breath might have withered, but she had a large heart.
So she had. A lovely soul.
She died a woman, and had, as I think, children?
One child.
True, your nephew.
Yes.
Well, enough said. We must go on our way. Do you know this place?
Know it? I was apprenticed here. Why, it's old Fezziwig! Bless his heart, it's Fezziwig alive again!
Yo-ho there, Ebenezer, Dick.
Look there! Dick Wilkins, to be sure. Bless me, yes. There he is. He was very much attached to me, was Dick.
Yo-ho, my boys. No more work tonight. Christmas Eve. Dick, Christmas, Ebenezer. Let's have the shutters up before a man can say Jack Robinson.
Fezziwig was a taskmaster, but we learned our trade well under his tireless guide. And when Christmas came, he relished the occasion and knew how to make it unforgettably special.
Holly-ho, clear away, my lads, and let's have lots of room here.
Look! See how old Fezziwig leads the dance. He was a hard-working man, a solid soul. But see how hard put we are to keep up with him to a fiddle's tune. And Mrs. Fezziwig, God bless her. See how she matches us every step. What a wonderful woman. No, Spirit. Let us stay a while longer. This picture gives my sad, cold heart a warmth it hasn't felt in many years. Only a short time more?
A small matter to make these silly folks so full of gratitude.
Small?
Is it not? He has spent but a few pounds of your mortal money on this celebration. Is that so much that he deserves this praise?
It isn't that. He had the power to render us happy or unhappy, to make our service a pleasure or a toil. his words, his looks, seemingly insignificant, were quite impossible to place a value on. The happiness he gave was quite as great as if it cost a fortune.
What is the matter?
Nothing particular.
Something, I think.
No. I should just like to be able to say a word or two to my clerk just now. That's all.
My time grows short. Quick!
It matters very little to you, Ebenezer, that another idol has displaced me. But if it can cheer and comfort you as I would have tried to do, I have no just cause to grieve.
What idol has displaced you?
A golden one.
Isn't that just the way of the world? There's nothing on which the world is so hard as poverty, and there is nothing it professes to condemn with such severity as the pursuit of wealth.
You fear the world too much. You fear reproach for being caught short of perfection, of needing anything or anyone. I have seen your nobler aspirations fall off one by one until the master passion gain has taken over your life.
Even if I have grown so much wiser, what then? I am not changed towards you.
Our contract is an old one. It was made when we were both poor and content to be so, while improving our station by patient efforts. You are changed. When it was made, you were another man.
I was a boy.
Your own feeling tells you that you were not what you are now. I am. That which promised happiness when we were one in heart is fraught with misery now that we are two. My spirit has been at such odds with your spirit that I find I can at last release you.
Have I ever sought release?
In words? No. Never.
In what then?
In a changed nature, an altered spirit, in everything that made my love of any worth of value in your sight. If this had never been between us, tell me, would you seek me out and try to win me now? No.
You think not?
I would gladly think otherwise if I could. But if you were free today, I cannot believe that you would choose a dowerless girl, a girl who has nothing to offer but love and undying loyalty, when with your every breath you weigh everything by gain. Or choosing her perhaps in a fleeting moment of passion, to discover she is without tangible value, and to regret your choice for the rest of your life. I loved you as you were. I cannot love the man you have become. May you be happy in the life you have chosen.
Go after her, you fool! Run to her! You're a fool! A fool! I was not a fool. Spirit, show me no more. Conduct me home. Why do you delight to torture me? No more! I don't wish to see it! Show me no more! Spirit, show me no more! Conduct me home! Why do you delight to torture me? No more! No more! I don't wish to see it! Show me no more!
Greetings of the season, and hello!
Greetings to you, sir. Who are you?
I am the ghost of Christmas present. Look upon me. You have never seen anything like me.
Never.
Have you never walked forth with the younger members of my family, my elder brothers and sisters? Actually, for I am quite young by comparison.
I don't think I have. I'm afraid I have not. Have you many brothers and sisters, Spirit?
More than 1,800.
A tremendous family to provide for. Spirit, conduct me where you will. I went forth last night on compulsion, and I learnt a lesson which is working now. Tonight, if you have aught to teach me, let me profit by it.
Then touch my robe.
Spirit, I have traveled in this manner before, but I still fear it. Will it matter if I close my eyes?
Do as you wish, I suppose, since your flight will be but a blink of your eye. I doubt your mortal imagination will miss much.
Are we there yet, Spirit?
Open your eyes, man, and you will see. What do you think you have to fear?
What can be keeping your precious father and Tiny Tim? And Martha weren't late last Christmas by half an hour.
Here's Martha, Mother!
Oh, Martha, we have such a wonderful Christmas goose.
Why, bless your heart alive, my dear. How late you are.
We had so much work to finish up last night and had to clear it away this morning, Mother.
Well, never mind, so long as you are come. Sit down before the fire, my dear, and warm yourself. Lord bless you.
No, no, there's Father coming.
Hide, Martha, hide!
Why, where's our Martha?
Not coming.
Not coming? Not coming upon Christmas Day?
Merry Christmas, Father. Hello, Tiny Tim.
Tim, come into the kitchen and hear the pudding boil.
Oh, yes, it sounds like it's singing a Christmas carol.
And how did little Tim behave?
As good as gold, and better. Somehow he gets thoughtful sitting by himself so much, and thinks the strangest things you ever heard. He told me, coming home, that he hoped the people saw him in church because he was a cripple, and it might be pleasant to them to remember, upon Christmas Day, who made the lame beggars walk and the blind men see.
What a sweet angel he is.
As are all our children.
Well, now that my family is gathered under one roof at last, I must see to the goose and the pudding. Martha, will you lend me a hand in the kitchen?
Peter, will you pour us a cup?
We
Wish you a Merry Christmas, we wish you a Merry Christmas, we wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
A Merry Christmas to us all, my dears. God bless us.
God bless us, everyone. Spirit, tell me if Tiny Tim will live.
I see a vacant seat in the poor chimney corner, and a crutch without an owner. If these shadows remain unaltered by the future, the child will die.
No, no, kind spirit. Say he will be spared.
If these shadows remain unaltered by the future, none other of my race will find him there. What then? If he be like to die, he had better do it and decrease the surplus population. Perhaps it would be more prudent to hold back your quick judgments until you have discovered what the surplus is and where it is. Will you decide which men shall live and which men shall die? It may be that, in the sight of heaven, you are more worthless and less fit to live than millions like this poor man's child.
Mr. Scrooge. I'll give you Mr. Scrooge, the founder of the feast.
The founder of the feast, indeed. I wish I had him here. I'd give him a piece of my mind to feast upon, and I hope he'd have a good appetite for it.
My dear, the children, Christmas Day.
It should be Christmas Day, I'm sure, on which one drinks to health of such an odious, stingy, hard, unfeeling man as Mr. Scrooge. You know he is, Robert. Nobody knows it better than you, my poor fellow.
My dear, Christmas Day.
I'll drink to his health for your sake, and the day's, not his. Long life to him, a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. He'll be very merry and very happy, I have no doubt.
Though I ask to profit by this journey, it is a shameful profit indeed.
Our journey has not yet ended.
And Mr. Smith expressed some interest in the design changes I sketched for the new houses on Bettersfield Street. Granted, it was only a mild interest, but he didn't dismiss my ideas altogether. I believe he may give them serious consideration. He and Mr. Taylor have been including me in their discussions more often these past few months, and I can't help feeling confident for it. And someday, I shall design a palace for you, my queen, and we shall live happily ever after. Of course, I should like at least a half-dozen heirs to the throne to fill that palace.
Ah, a half-dozen, is it? Well, you had better build that palace first, because even 2 of your 6 heirs wouldn't fit into this little house with us.
Well, no matter where we live, you'll always be the queen of my castle. And with that in mind, I tried to buy the crown jewels for you, but Her Majesty said she couldn't bear to part with them. Something about their being in the family for years and years. So I went into a little shop and found this for you. Merry Christmas, my love.
Oh, how beautiful. You are so generous and thoughtful. I shall cherish it forever.
I visited Uncle Ebenezer today.
Oh, what was his mood today, dare I ask?
He said that Christmas was a humbug. He believed it, too.
More shame for him, Fred.
He's a comical old fellow, that's true, and not so pleasant as he might be. However, his offenses carry their own punishment, and I have nothing to say against him.
I'm sure he's very rich. At least you always tell me so.
What of that, my dear? His wealth is of no use to him. He doesn't do any good with it. He doesn't make himself comfortable with it. He hasn't the satisfaction of thinking that he's ever going to benefit us with it.
I have no patience with him.
Oh, I have. I'm sorry for him. I couldn't be angry with him if I tried. Who suffers by his ill whims? Himself? Always. Here he takes it into his head to dislike us, and he won't even come to dine with us. What's the consequence? He doesn't lose much of a dinner.
Indeed, I think he loses a very good dinner.
I was only going to say that the consequence of his taking a dislike to us and not making merry with us is that he loses some pleasant moments which could do him no harm. I mean to give him the same chance every year, whether he likes it or not, for I pity him. He may rail at Christmas till he dies, but he can't help thinking better of it if he finds me going there in good temper year after year and saying, "Uncle Scrooge, how are you?" That is my Christmas gift to him.
And every year his gift to you will be a rebuttal of insults, which is no gift at all.
Well, my dear, the old miser has failed, and without knowing it, he has given us a gift after all.
And what gift would that be?
I'm quite amused by his protests, and I find myself smiling in spite of the pity I feel for him. Is there any greater gift one man can give another than amusement in the face of gloom? And it would be ungrateful not to drink his health. I give you Uncle Scrooge.
Well then, Uncle Scrooge, a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to the old man, wherever he is.
I told that boy he belonged in Parliament, but I meant it in an unkind fashion at the time. Bless my soul if I wasn't correct, in truth. He just now put me in my rightful place, but he has such a way. His charm and intelligence are a reflection of his mother, my sweet, sweet little Fan.
My life upon this globe is very brief. It ends tonight.
Tonight?
Tonight at midnight. The time is drawing nearer, and I have one more important thing to show you.
Spirit, are those children yours?
They are man's, and they cling to me, appealing from their fathers. This boy is ignorance. This girl is want. Beware them both, and all of their degree. But most of all, beware this boy. For on his brow I see written that which is doom, unless the writing be erased.
Have they no refuge or resource?
Are there no prisons? Are there no workhouses?
Spirit, please don't leave me. Stay a while longer. Teach me more. Don't leave. Please come back. I wish to learn more. Am I in the presence of the ghost of Christmas yet to come? You are about to show me the shadows of things that have not happened but will happen in the time before us. Is that so, Spirit? Ghost of the future, I fear you more than any specter I have seen. But as I know your purpose is to do me good, and as I hope to live to be another man from what I was, I am prepared to bear you company, and do it with a thankful heart. Will you not speak to me?
No, I don't know much about it either way. I only know he's dead.
When did he die?
Last night, I believe.
Why, what was the matter with him? I thought he'd never die.
Oh, God knows.
What has he done with his money?
I haven't heard. Left it to his company, perhaps. He hasn't left it to me, that's all I know. It's likely to be a very cheap funeral, for upon my life, I don't know of anybody to go to it. Suppose we make up a party and volunteer.
I don't mind going if lunch is provided, but I must be fed.
Well, I'm not interested, for I never wear black gloves and I never eat lunch.
As I always say, every person has a right to take care of themselves. He always did.
That's true indeed. No man more so.
Who's the worse for the loss of a few things like these? Not a dead man, I suppose.
No, indeed. If he wanted to keep him after he was dead, wicked old Scrooge, why wasn't he natural in his lifetime? If he had been, he'd have had somebody to look after him when he was struck with death, instead of lying gasping out his last there all alone by yourself.
It's the truest word that ever was spoke. It's a judgment on him. I wish I had a little heavier one, and it should have been you may depend upon it. I would have taken more if I could have laid me hands on anything else. Look here. His bed curtains.
You don't mean to say you took 'em down, rings and all, and him lying there?
Yes, I do. Why not? And here, a flask of lamp oil. Be careful you don't spill it on his blankets.
His blankets?
Well, of course. He ain't likely to catch cold without 'em, I dare say.
I hope he didn't die of anything catching.
Don't be afraid of that. I ain't so fond of his company that I'd loiter about for such things if I did. Here, I want you to have this shirt.
Why? What for?
Go ahead, take it. We've been friends through the rich and the thin of it. Most of it thin, I dare say. You was good to me and mine when my man got sacked last winter. This shirt will fetch price enough for a tin of fancy tea for your Christmas cheer, or whatever you'd like. I ain't one to forget a friend. And you won't find a hole in it nor a threadbare place. It's the best he had, and a fine one, too. They'd have wasted it if it hadn't have been for me.
What do you call wasting of it?
Putting it on him to be buried in, to be sure. Somebody was fool enough to do it, but I took it off again. If calico ain't good enough for such a purpose, it ain't good enough for anything. Besides, he can't look uglier than he did with that one.
Well, I thank you very kindly. And ain't this the end of it? He frightened everyone from him when he was alive to profit us when he was dead.
Spirit, I see. The case of this unhappy man might be my own. My life tends that way now. And if I am like him, it chills my very soul to think I could be scorned so openly. If there's any person in the town who feels emotion caused by this man's death, show that person to me, Spirit, I beseech you. Let me see some kind of tenderness connected with this man's death. Has mankind forgotten loss at the loss of a fellow man? Is no one inspired to tenderness at his passing? Oh, Spirit, you cast a cold, unfeeling shadow. Have you not 1 ounce of warmth to show me?
And he took a child and set him in the midst of them.
Where have I heard those words? I have not dreamed them. Why does he not go on?
The mending hurts my eyes. They're better now again. It makes them weak by candlelight, and I wouldn't show weak eyes to your father for the world when he comes home. It must be time for him to return.
Past it, rather. But I think he walks a little slower than he used to these past few evenings, Mother.
I have known him to walk with Tiny Tim upon his shoulder, very fast indeed.
And so have I, often.
And so have I, Mother.
But he was very light to carry, and his father loved him so that it was no trouble. No trouble.
Look here, how wonderful this is. You have learned well, my dear, and your mother is a good teacher.
You're a bit later than usual, my dear.
Yes, I know. I'm very sorry if I've spoilt your supper.
No, there's no worry there. Everything is fine. Did you go there today?
Yes, my dear. I wish you could have gone. It would have done you good to see how green a place it is. And they set the headstone today, with a sweet little angel, just as you wanted. Oh, my little child, my sweet Tiny Tim. Forgive me, gentle family. I do not wish to spread my grief upon you.
Father, don't be sorry for the love you show our Tiny Tim. Such tears come to all of us when we think of him. And then, a dozen memories to make us smile. And soon we will laugh as easily as before when we remember his impish pranks. That's what he'd want best of all.
What a fine young woman you've become. What a joy you are to your mother and me. And you, young man, I have a bit of news for you. I met Mr. Scrooge's nephew in Langdon Street today. He inquired kindly after all of you and sent his best regards to my good wife. I wonder how he knew.
Knew what?
That you're a good wife. And he says to me how sorry he was to hear about our Tim. And then he says he knows I have a son what's near working age, and how would I like to send him round to his own employer, 'cause there's going to be a place for an apprentice come mid-spring.
Only hear that, Peter. What a fine soul Scrooge's nephew must be, and never having met the rest of us.
And then Peter will be making his own way, and then keeping company with someone, and then setting up for himself.
Go on with you.
That's just as likely as not, one of these days. Though there's plenty of time for that, my dear. But however and whenever we part from one another, I am sure we shall, none of us, forget poor Tiny Tim, shall we? Or this first parting that there was among us?
Never, Father.
No, never.
No, Father, never.
I do have reason to be happy. You all make me very, very happy.
Spectre, something informs me that our parting moment is at hand. I know it, but I know not how. Tell me, what was that man of whom they spoke was dead? Before I draw nearer to that stone to which you point, answer me one question. Are these the shadows of things that will be, or are they the shadows of the things that may be? Surely a man can avoid certain doom if he departs from his deplorable course in life. Please say that it can be so. I fear the lesson that you teach me. Am I the man who lay upon the bed that was robbed by the charwoman? No, Spirit! Oh, no! No! Spirit, hear me! I am not the man I was. I will not be that man I must have been before this night's events. Why show me this if I am past all hope? Good Spirit, pity me. Intercede for me. Assure me that I may yet change these shadows that you have shown me. I will honor Christmas in my heart and try to keep it all the year. I will live in the past, the present, and the future. The spirits of all three shall strive within me. I will not shut out the lessons that they teach. Oh, tell me I may sponge away the writing on this stone. I will honor Christmas in my heart. I will honor it. Please sponge away the writing. I will honor Christmas. I will, and keep it all the year. I will live in the past, the present, and the future. The spirits of all three shall strive within me. Oh, Jacob Marley, heaven in the Christmas time be praised for this. I say it on my knees, old Jacob, on my knees. My bed curtains, they are not torn down. They are not torn down, rings and all. They are here. I am here. The shadows of the things that would have been may be dispelled. They will be dispelled. I know they will. I don't know what to do. I'm as light as a feather. I'm as happy as an angel. I'm merry as a schoolboy. I'm as giddy as a drunken man. A Merry Christmas to everybody, and a Happy New Year to all the world. There's the door by which the ghost of Jacob Marley entered, and the ghost of Christmas past, and the ghost of Christmas present. It's all right. It's all true. It all happened. I don't know what day of the month it is. I don't know how long I've been among the spirits. I don't know anything. I'm quite a baby. Never mind, I don't care. I'd rather be a baby. You boy, what's today?
Today? Why, it's Christmas Day.
It's Christmas Day. I haven't missed it. The spirits have done it all in one night. They can do anything they like. Of course they can. Of course they can. Hello, my fine fellow.
Hello.
Do you know the poultry shop in the next street? The one around the corner?
I should hope I did.
An intelligent boy, a remarkable boy. Do you know if they've sold the prize turkey that was hanging in the window? Not the little prize turkey, the big one.
What? The one as big as me?
What a delightful boy. It's a pleasure to talk to him. Yes, my buck.
It's hanging there now.
Is it? Go and buy it.
Oh, Goyam. Go buy it yourself.
No, I am in earnest. Here, take these coins. Go and buy it and tell him to bring it here, that I may give him directions where to take it. Come back with the man and I'll give you a shilling. Come back with him in less than 5 minutes and I'll give you half a crown.
Right, sir.
I'll send it to Bob Cratchit. He shan't know who sent it. It's twice the size of Tiny Tim. Gentlemen, how happy I am to see you on this very morning.
Oh, Mr. Scrooge.
Good of you to happen by just now. I have been giving your charitable endeavors a great deal of serious consideration. Yes, indeed, you'll never know. And I'm convinced you've got the right idea. Here, please take this. But mustn't be cut too short. It's Christmas, you know. And mark me down for twice that again. Come round to my business tomorrow. I'll have it for you then, and we'll discuss your good works in great detail. I'm fascinated. Merry Christmas to you both. And a Happy New Year.
Well, thank you.
Ah, here's the turkey. Hello, how are you? Merry Christmas. Here's the address, and don't tell him who it came from. Wait, it's impossible to carry that to Camden Town. You must have a cab. Here, boy, fetch a cab for this good man. And here's your half-crown.
That was a glorious service for a Christmas morning, wasn't it, dear? The children's voices gave an angelic sweetness to the hymns, didn't they?
Yes, the hymns, the crisp air, the sunshine, and the bells. What a joyous clatter. Don't you wish every day was Christmas? I'll answer that. Look here, who's come to see us? Uncle Ebenezer.
Good morning, good morning. Ah, a vision.
Permit me, Uncle. My wife, Polly.
I am honored, my dear. You are as lovely as I knew you'd be. Even more so. I only came from church, and I'm on my way to visit my clerk and his wonderful family. But if the invitation still stands, I shall return and dine with you on this merriest of occasions.
Of course it still stands. Doesn't it, Polly?
Yes, of course. We shall be delighted.
Wonderful, wonderful! We have so much to talk about. I had an inspired thought come to me as I was leaving my house this morning. It's a large old thing, actually a grand old house, but in need of some repair and new touches. Perhaps you could take my propositions to your firm, my boy.
I'm sure I could arrange something, Uncle.
But, of course, I'd want to hear your ideas first. He's very bright, you know. For years I've lived in just one room. Haven't poked into the others for centuries, it seems. But now I want to open it up. And I'll bet you're just the one to set it right, Polly. It'll be yours one day, you know. So you could fix it just the way you like. That is, of course, if it appeals to you. I'd like very much to be part of a family again. A large family, Fred?
Oh, you're very generous, Uncle Ebenezer. It's a thought worth entertaining, I'm sure.
Well then, we shall touch on it over dinner, and many other topics too. 3 o'clock, isn't that right? Here, yes indeed. And a Merry Christmas, children.
What on earth?
I can't imagine.
Mr. Scrooge, what brings you here today?
I came to remind you that because you have today off, you promised to be all the earlier tomorrow.
Of course, and I shall be there.
And I came to advise you that because of your dedication to this Merry Christmas business, there will be a change in your salary. And if you dare to argue with me about it, I shall discharge you on the spot without an ounce of remorse. Is that clear?
Sir, when I am at your place of business, you have my fullest loyalty, but I see no reason for you to come into my home on Christmas Day.
Calm yourself, Bob Cratchit. Show your manners and introduce me to this good woman who must be your wife. I'm raising his salary and giving him a more responsible position if you, kind lady, will forgive an old fool for his stinginess all these past years.
Mr. Scrooge?
Do I hear an argument coming?
No, sir. It's just that, look, you seem a
Don't
bit...
stammer, man. All I asked for was a simple introduction.
Yes, sir, of course. Mr. Ebenezer Scrooge, my wife, Serena Cratchit.
I am honored, madam.
I'm happy to meet you, Mr. Scrooge. I think.
And look at all these little Cratchits. See if I have it right. Miss Martha, a picture of beauty, if I might say it, and skillful with the needle and thread, so I've heard. Master Peter. Oh yes, I must have a word with you, sir. Miss Belinda, somehow you remind me of my own little sister many, many years ago. And you are Tiny Tim. Tell me, young man, are you happy to meet me?
Yes, sir. I am happy to meet you.
I believe you are. But do you know what, Tim? I'm even happier to meet you.
And I believe you, sir.
Please forgive my little joke, my feigned gruffness just then. I only wish to illustrate how aware I am now of how difficult a man I used to be. Your dedication to this family and all that is sacred has been an inspiration to me, and I salute you, sir. Peter, you seem to be of an age just right for apprenticing. Have you any thoughts on what you might wish to do?
Yes, sir. I thought I should like to be a physician someday.
A noble aspiring, my son, but one that is a bit far from our station.
Noble, yes indeed, but not so unattainable if he is dedicated to the notion. I should think that with help from the right quarters you would make a fine physician. We shall speak more of this, Peter, and so shall you and I, Bob Cratchit.
Mr. Scrooge, do you think that if I had the right quarters, I could be a sea captain one day, sir?
Tim, I believe that you could be anything you want to be, and so you shall. Merry Christmas, Tiny Tim.
Merry Christmas, sir.
Merry Christmas to us all.
And God bless us, everyone.
You've been listening to 88.1 FM, The Berg's presentation of Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol, with the voice talents of Misty Carson, Nellie Dolman, Josh Ellis, Del Hubbard, Amy Longmire, Eric McCartney, Zach Nouse, and Jeff Sharp, with Dustin Kidd as the voice of Scrooge. Produced by Jeff Sharp and Eric McCartney. Adapted for radio by Jill McCartney. Directed by Jill McCartney. Thank you for listening, and a Merry Christmas from all of us here at the Berg.
Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Let yourself be light. From now on, our troubles will be out of sight. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Make the Yuletide gay. From now on, our troubles will be miles away. Here we are, as in olden days, happy golden days of yore. Faithful friends who are dear to us, gather near to us once more. Through the years we all will be together, if the fates allow. Until then we'll have to muddle through somehow. So have yourself a merry little Christmas now. Faithful friends who are dear to us, gather near to us once more. Through the years we all will be together, if the fates allow. Hang a shining star upon the highest bough, and have yourself a merry